Virgo, stop everything. I mean it. Whatever you were doing before this, whatever tab you had open, whatever thought was running in the background of your mind, put it down, because what I am about to say to you is not the kind of thing you receive while you are half present. This requires all of you, right here, right now. There is something building in your energy, something that has been assembling itself quietly in the background of everything you have been living through. And I do not use the word building lightly. I mean something that has been under construction, piece by piece, layer by layer, through every difficult moment, through every setback, through every time you kept going when stopping would have been so much easier. All of that, every single piece of it, has been building towards something. Now, let me ask you something directly. When was the last time you allowed yourself to genuinely believe that something really big, something life-changing, something that shifts the entire trajectory of where you are headed was actually possible for you? Not theoretically possible, not possible for other people, not possible in some distant abstract future. Actually, concretely, really possible for you. For a lot of you watching this right now, that question lands somewhere tender, because somewhere along the way, big wins started to feel like something that happened to other people. People who were luckier, more connected, started in better circumstances, made different choices, and you you have been showing up, doing the work, carrying things nobody sees, moving through obstacles that would have stopped most people, and still somehow the biggest version of what you are capable of has felt just slightly out of reach. I want to talk about that gap, that space between where you are and where you know you are capable of being. Because that gap is not evidence that the big win is not coming. It is actually evidence of how significant it is going to be when it arrives. Let me tell you what I am sensing in the energy around you right now, and I want you to really let this land. There is a convergence happening. Not one thing shifting, multiple things simultaneously moving toward a single point. Like several rivers that have been running parallel for a long time are finally finding their way to the same place. The work you have been doing, the patience you have been maintaining, the internal shifts you have been making quietly, without announcement, without anyone watching, without any guarantee that it was leading anywhere. All of it is converging, and the probability of what that convergence produces is something significant, something real, something that deserves the word win. Have you been feeling lately like things are starting to align? Like pieces that have been scattered are beginning to find each other? Like something that has been fragmented is starting to take shape? Tell me in the comments, because I think a lot of you are already feeling this shift. You just have not had language for it yet. Let me talk about what the biggest win of your life actually looks like, because I think there is a version of it in your mind, a specific picture, a specific outcome, a specific moment where you would know yes, this is it. This is the one. And I want to honor that picture because it is real and it is valid. And the fact that you can see it so clearly means it is not just fantasy, it is direction. But I also want to offer you something. The biggest win of your life may not announce itself the way you are expecting. It may not come with a fanfare. It may not arrive in a package that is immediately recognizable. It may not look exactly like the picture in your head, but it will feel like something very specific. It will feel like finally that particular quality of arrival where something lands and some deep part of you just exhales. Like a tension you have been holding for so long. You forgot it was there. Releases. Let me slow down for a second because I want to talk about something that is really important. Something that lives right at the center of all of this. You have been doing something remarkable, and I do not think you have been giving yourself credit for it. You have been continuing. That sounds simple. It is not simple. Continuing in the face of uncertainty is not simple. Continuing when the results are not yet visible is not simple. Continuing when people around you cannot see what you are working toward and cannot understand why you are working toward still going. That takes something extraordinary, and that quality, that refusal to stop, that quiet, stubborn, unglamorous insistence on continuing, that is what the biggest wins are built on. Not talent alone, not luck alone, not circumstances alone, but the willingness to keep moving through the part of the process where nothing looks like it is working yet. Think about something you have been working on or working toward, maybe professionally, maybe personally, maybe something internal that nobody can see from the outside. And think about how long you have been in it, how many times you wondered if it was worth it, how many times you could not see the point of continuing, how many times you continued anyway. That history, that record of showing up even when it was unrewarded, that is not nothing. That is actually the most important part of the whole story. Now let me go deeper, because there is something specific I want to address. Some of you watching this are right on the edge of something, not far from it, not someday approaching it, right on the edge, and you cannot feel it from inside it, because that is how edges work. You cannot feel how close you are to the other side until you are already crossing. But from the outside, from the energetic perspective of what is building around you, the distance between where you are right now and where this is going is smaller than you think. Hold on, because I want to name something that I think a lot of you are experiencing. That strange feeling of being close to something but not quite there, of sensing that something is building but not being able to see it clearly yet, of feeling like you are in the last stretch of something long but not knowing how much further it goes. That feeling, that particular quality of almost, is one of the hardest places to be, because it is close enough to feel but not close enough to see. And it tests you differently than the middle of the journey did. In the middle, you are just moving. But at the almost, you have to hold on to something without being able to see what you are holding on for. And if that is where you are right now, I want to say something very clearly. Do not let go now. Let me talk about what wins actually require, because I think there is a myth about this that needs to be addressed. The myth is that the big win arrives and changes everything automatically, that once it lands, everything is different, that it solves the things that needed solving, that it answers the questions that needed answering, that it fills the spaces that needed filling. And sometimes, partially, it does. But the biggest wins, the ones that actually last, the ones that are not just a peak, but a new foundation, those require something from you before they arrive. They require you to already be becoming the version of yourself who can hold what is coming. And that is what all of this has been. All of the patience, all of the continuing, all of the quiet internal work that nobody sees. That has been you becoming capable of holding what is building toward you. I'm not sure why, but this feels important to say right now. You are more ready than you feel. Readiness rarely feels like readiness from the inside. From the inside, it usually feels like uncertainty, like not quite enough, like still figuring things out. But readiness is not the absence of uncertainty. Readiness is the capacity to move forward despite it. And that capacity, that is something you have been building, whether you knew it or not, whether it felt like progress or not. Let me paint you a scene. Imagine you are somewhere simple, nothing dramatic, an ordinary moment in an ordinary day, and something arrives, an opportunity, a conversation, a door that opens from the other side, something that has been in motion that you did not fully know was in motion, and it lands in front of you, and there is a moment, a single clear moment where you recognize it, not with fanfare, not with certainty, but with that quiet internal knowing that says, this is it. And in that moment, what matters most is not whether you feel ready. What matters most is whether you show up, whether you say yes to the thing that is being offered, whether you step toward it instead of away from it, whether you let yourself receive what has been building toward you. Because the biggest wins of people's lives are rarely seized with perfect confidence. They are almost always met with some trembling, some disbelief, some version of, am I really allowed to have this? And the answer is yes. Have you been sensing something building? Something you cannot fully explain but absolutely cannot ignore? Something that feels like it is gathering itself toward a moment? Leave me a comment below. Tell me what area of your life you feel this building in. Career, relationships, personal growth, finances. Tell me where you feel the convergence happening. Because I think the specifics of where this is moving for each of you are different, but the quality of the energy, the feeling of something significant approaching, that is the same. Let me address something directly now, because some of you watching this have had big wins before and lost them or squandered them or watched something promising collapse before it could become what it was supposed to be. And that history has done something to you. It has made you careful about hope, careful about excitement, careful about letting yourself believe in something before it is fully real. And I understand that completely. That protective caution is built from real experience, real disappointment, real moments of having your hopes exceed what reality delivered. But here is what I want to offer you. The previous wins that did not hold were not necessarily evidence that you cannot hold a win. They may have been evidence that you were not yet the version of yourself who was fully equipped for what that win required. And all the growth that has happened since, all the lessons learned the hard way, all the ways you have changed and deepened and become more honest with yourself, that is the equipping. And the probability of what is building now is building for a version of you who is significantly more equipped to hold it. Let me bring this toward its close now, slowly, because this moment deserves that. Here is what I want you to carry from this. Something significant is in the probability of your near experience, not because the universe owes you, not because you have suffered enough to deserve a reward, not because some cosmic ledger has decided it is your turn, but because of the actual, real, tangible work you have been doing, the internal shifts you have made, the ways you have continued when continuing was hard, the version of yourself you have been quietly becoming. That is what creates the conditions for the biggest win. That is what makes it real when it arrives. That is what allows it to last. And here is your only job right now. Stay present, stay grounded, stay honest about what you want and what you need. Keep doing the work, keep showing up, keep being the version of yourself that got you this far. And stay open. Open to it arriving in a form you did not expect. Open to it coming through a door you did not know was there. Open to being surprised by how good things can actually get. Because the biggest win of your life is not a fantasy. It is a probability